What to do with an old smartphone? The joy of receiving a new phone is often tempered by a nagging sense of failure. In many cases, there was nothing really wrong with the previous phone, unless there was. A bulging battery or a smashed screen is usually an unattractive appearance. If it were a breakup, the chat with an old phone would begin with, "You're fantastic. It's not your fault. It's me, by the way. I just want a more recent model. Are you embarrassed by your appearance? Don't be like that." The old phone doesn't have to be stuffed away in a drawer or used as a doorstop or furniture shim anymore. There are several applications for your outdated phone that you might use. After all, the majority of older cell phones are still capable of producing impressive results. Consider your gadget to be a connected device that simply happens to be missing a SIM card at the moment. Here are some ideas on what to do with that spare, outdated phone you have lying around. The rest of this assumes that you are not recycling or reselling your old Android or iOS smartphone, both of which are fantastic choices to explore. Remember to keep a backup phone. The belt and suspenders method works for me, particularly when it comes to equipment that I depend on, such as my phone. I have a spare phone in my carry-on bag at all times, assuming things ease up someday and I can never go on the road again. Nothing can sabotage a vacation quite like a smartphone that has been smashed, misplaced, or stolen. In the event that your primary phone goes missing while you're away from home, picking up a SIM card from a vending machine or tobacconist and inserting it into a spare phone can literally save your life, and it's a whole lot cheaper, faster, and less complicated than purchasing a new phone in a foreign city or country as well. An additional remote. I was a little late in realizing that cell phones make excellent remote controllers for televisions and streaming gadgets. iOS users can use the Apple TV Remote Control app to operate their devices, while the Google Home app can control Chromecast devices on both iOS and Android. The Roku app for Android and iOS is a duplicate of the company's famous remote. Other remote control applications include Amazon Fire TV apps for both Android and iOS devices, as well as TiVo apps for both Android and iOS devices. When it comes to entering titles, the phone applications outperform the actual thing in one respect: they feature keypads, which makes it considerably quicker than using the on-screen keyboards of the devices themselves to navigate through the options. Platform for games. Using your old phone as a gaming device is an option. The gaming community is resourceful, as seen by the many devices available, such as the Moga mobile gaming clip for Xbox wireless controllers, which allows you to attach your phone to Xbox or PlayStation controllers to drive gameplay. You can use the Razer Kishi to hold on to your iPhone or Android phone if you're feeling Switch jealousy. However, be aware that compatibility does not exist across all platforms or with all games, and that certain controllers are more appropriate for certain kinds of games than others. Someone who enjoys puzzle games will have different requirements than someone who enjoys first-person shooters. Before you purchase a game, think about how and what you will be playing. Set up a webcam system. We've published a few pieces on the subject, see the links below, and you should read them. Webcams are very helpful for a variety of purposes, including security and Zoom meetings, but they are in high demand and may be difficult to come by these days. If Amazon is requiring you to wait 3 weeks for a pricey webcam, you may want to consider using a more ancient phone instead. An old-school media display device. A long time ago, before the iPhone, you had to carry 2 gadgets with you, a smartphone and a separate music player, which may or might not have been an iPod at the time. Editor's note: Dad, please tell us another tale about the good old days. Your old phone may still be used as a standalone media storage device, either to back up your collection or to store material for immediate use. Your older phone can even serve as a streaming platform if the Wi-Fi is still functional, and provided the phone is still in good working order. This is only possible if your account is permitted to utilize multiple devices. This might also be an excellent option for entertaining a young toddler while on the run. Their very first phone calls. Speaking of little children, your old phone would make an excellent first device. Yeah, we've actually come to that point once again. You can download and install authorized games and applications on the phone, as well as enable parental controls, and you're good to go. It's possible that the child may cry if the gadget is destroyed or misplaced, but what about the parent? That's not the case. Donate IT to a nonprofit organization. There are groups that collect and restore old functional phones so that they may be put to good use. Check out Cell Phones for Soldiers, which provides free communications for soldiers and their families, and Medic Mobile, which recycles old phones to fund new phones for health workers in Asia, Latin America, and Africa. Cell Phones for Soldiers provide free communications for soldiers and their families. In addition to these, there are more, but before donating to any group you are unfamiliar with, always verify their ratings with Charity Navigator or GuideStar. Take IT apart and reconstruction. Taking things apart and figuring out what makes them tick can be a source of great enjoyment for certain people. If your old phone has been a part of your life for a long time, don't you want to know what's on the other side? Sites such as iFixit provide step-by-step dismantling instructions. Reassembly that is successful is the advanced course. Even with a little time, good fortune, and talent, and perhaps a few unique tools you can acquire online, you could even manage to reassemble it with just a few extra components left behind once all is said and done.